All right, so I said I was replacing or getting rid of the two carbon fiber titanium Kaisers and making space for a couple of other knives. But before I explain what those other knives are, the knives that affected the decision were the Kershaw Iridium, the Kaiser Sheepdog XL, and does not have the ZT308 0308, but whatever. So these are the three knives I want to carry the most, but for different reasons. And I found an option that combined all three into one knife, even though I bought two knives. but you know, the 20 CV blade, big American blade, the look of the sheepdog is very unique. I like the all black aesthetic, and then the functionality, man, that blade's dirty, of the Iridium. If that was one knife, it would just be perfect for me. And that's exactly what I found. It was one that combined all three. American-made company. Microtech. This is my first Microtech. Never bought Microtech before. And if you're wondering which one, it is the Amphibian. This is super hard to do around a camera and a tripod. Aluminum scales and the Apocalyptic finish, which I was a little concerned about getting the Apocalyptic finish. I knew I didn't want the stone wash finish. Nothing wrong with the stone wash on this ZT. I just wanted something different. But unfortunately, they don't make a they do make a titanium amphibian, but the only one that I saw that I wanted, I actually saw three of them. The only one that I saw that I wanted was $7,200, and I have a wife, so yeah, couldn't do that. But it is as close to putting those three knives into one in an EDC. I do agree with Metal Complex. The mechanism for dropping this, you do want to be very sure that all of your fingers are out the way, because that's very guillotine-y when it comes down, and I'm sure at some point in time someone's going to be here and someone's going to be missing a part of their finger, because it is a big heavy blade, and when it comes down with some authority. It is lightsaber sharp. I definitely would be cautious. Make sure you're holding on to the belt clip so that you know your fingers are out the way when you go to close it. So I have very big hands, 2XL gloves, so it's not too big a knife for me. I like the weight on it, on the aluminum one, but I did buy another knife And, you know, if it worked once, then twice would be better. I had to, so this one came from Blade HQ, and took quite a bit to get here. I'm in Seattle, Washington. They're in somewhere on the East Coast, Virginia or something like that. So it took almost 2 weeks to get here. But Blade HQ, excellent customer service. They checked on the package, looked into it, and let me know what was going on. So no problems ordering from Blade HQ again. Would definitely do that. This is a secondary market knife because there was absolutely no place that had one for less than $3,500, which technically is not. I mean, it is the exact same knife, but Marfione custom, which was also the titanium one, was a Marfione custom. But a Shadow edition. This is a direct from Microtech September. I don't know if you can read that. I'm pointing at something you can't read. September 2023, which I confirmed. They released without any billboarding whatsoever on the blades. It doesn't even say M390 MK on there. So the only signature is on, and it says Signature Collection. So, you know, understandably. But the only reference point at all is on the belt clip. It doesn't say anything anyplace else on the blade, nowhere. It's got some marks on it. But I actually wanted, as I was looking around, I saw a prototype that had the carbon fiber scales and the apocalyptic finish, and I was only able to see it on eBay after it sold for $1,800. So that's why I bought both of these. Let's see if we can make that prototype. Let's just see here. T8, which those look to be. The way for the time being. So the other reason that I picked up this one as opposed to they also make these in G10. You know what? Just not gonna have an accident and cut myself. They also make these in G10 scales, and the other reason that I got the aluminum one is because I think there's going to be a ton of aftermarket options that are made in G10. Amazingly, Microtech does not charge any more for the aluminum scales than they do for the G10 scales, which is just spectacular. Microtech, please don't change that just because of this video or for any reason at all. And I think you're never going to find aftermarket aluminum, fluted aluminum scales for this. The process is just going to be too expensive for anyone aftermarket to do it and not do it in titanium. That's my thought. So get that out of there. And that is not a T8. That's probably a 12. Let's see here. Maybe try 10. Nope. It's not a 10. Maybe 15. That still feels a little loose. That's a T20. So one thing that I noticed is on the Signature series, and they, you know, if they ever release another run of these, it may change on the Signature series, but the lock side is on, and I guess because it's ambidextrous, it really doesn't matter, but the show side, whereas this one, they're both neither one has a finished bolt on the other side. So see how this comes apart. So it looks like they changed the manufacturing process. And let's see if this is gonna. So I'm probably gonna have to leave that off to get the other side out. Yep. All right. So we'll do that. And I should put that away. I'm gonna have to take the whole thing apart. And then I was gonna do it just scale for scale, just to see what it looked like, which I'll be able to do on this side, but not on that one. Not that there's a way to mix these up, but I just want to keep everybody's screws together. So, ooh, well, that one's in there pretty good. Wow. All right, Okay. That one came out of it. Okay. So, this is not a knife channel. Nothing wrong with knife channels, but it's not a metal complex or, you know, Neves knives or Triple E EDC. I'm just a guy who sometimes makes videos about the things that he's interested in. All right, both of those are, and they're pretty good. Hold on one sec. Okay. Just had to get a better grip to open those two, which were on there pretty good. But in any case, just occasionally make videos about the things I'm interested in. If I think the content isn't already out there, or, you know, hasn't already been said by somebody. What does that say? NCMAK. Let's take a look at this one. NCM5. And I know somebody was wondering, it is 7075 aluminum, and this is obviously carbon fiber. You can see that. Alrighty, let's see what happens if we, oops, start here. I think that if this comes out the way I think it will, that it should be a part of their signature series. Both of these, actually. I think that the carbon fiber, which is obviously black, has a gray apocalyptic-ish looking finish to it that works out quite nicely with, that's not how that goes on there. That's how that goes on there. With the apocalyptic blade. Oops. Am I missing something? I am. What am I missing? That's what I was missing. Okie dokie. So that goes in. Also, then there should be one of those somewhere. Let's see, what did I do here? Oh, duh. Yeah, I'm not missing anything. Well, I am missing something, but well, that could be very difficult to resolve. Okay, so the carbon fiber version has a plate that you, maybe if I carefully close this, the blade will keep it in place. Yep. Okay, so if you go to replace these scales, the carbon fiber, let's speak correctly, scale has a plate that the screws that go into the little spacer catch, because there's no way to screw it into carbon fiber, and that plate is not there on the aluminum one because they screw into the scale itself. So that's obvious now that I did that. Okie dokie. There we go. I'll tighten all this back down. One last. One. Put that in the pivot. All right. I think that looks fantastic. I'll finish the other side off camera. That looks way better than I thought it might. Yep. Now, let's take a look at the Signature series. Here's a question. Which one's the Signature series? Is the all black I'm not gonna put the bolt back in the pivot because I gotta replace the other side and I'd have to take that off again, but I will put the rest of these back. Oh, yeah, that should be okay, right? Because yeah, that should still work out. Because you just screw it in, and there's no screws in that. The screws are in the scale itself. So, yep. Okay, everything's gonna be fine. I am liking this already quite a bit. And I bet you these are the only two. Well, actually, I did see a prototype. So there's one other one of those. But the prototype actually said stonewash, but it looked like the Apocalyptic finish. And because it was a prototype, who knows what they actually ended up deciding on. But I bet you there is not another Signature series with all black aluminum fluted scales. What's going on here? That one right there. Maybe those are different sizes. That should have just went in. Anywhere. And I'll put that in after I replace both of them. What do you think? Whoa. What do you think about that as opposed to that? I like it. I mean, that's very nice, and you know, there's a ton of these out here. There's not, but there are quite a few. But that, obviously, once the pivot screw is in, that looks pretty good. All right, I'm gonna do the other sides and check you guys later. Peace.